Hey everybody, so I'm standing at the point 22 of the property boundary of Fruit Haven 3, and so I'm looking westward towards the river into the lot that we're calling Fruit Haven 6 that's for sale. And now I'm looking southward down the boundary between Fruit Haven 3 and Fruit Haven 6. So we're going to walk into this property for a bit and see how it is. So over there, as it opens up a bit more, we have a view of the town or the small city of El Tangi. So right from here you can't see it because it's not as open. You can see we're basically walking through a flat pasture area, and off to the right a ways, like to the north a bit more, it eventually goes downhill to the stream which runs through this property, which we're not going to see today because it's through the woods and it's down a ravine. Right, just following the same path a bit more, going mostly west towards the Rio Zamora, and the cows that rent the pasture for haven't been through here in a while, so the grass is a bit high, so we're not getting as good view of the land as we would. But if I pan around like this, you can kind of see how the terrain is. Right now I'm going ever so slightly downhill, just barely downhill. And it's like that for a while. This path is pretty nice because in the past they used it for hauling wood for people that were making lumber, so it's been consistently used by horses and people for hauling wood. So it's a pretty permanent path. I don't know if you can see, but just through the middle, in the middle of the screen right there, you can see a little bit of the river. And that's actually the Rio Chuchumbleta that you can see, which is flowing west to east, and it meets the Rio Zamora. And the Rio Zamora is down a steep hill, so you can't see that from here. But as we get closer to the edge, you can see it if it opens up a bit. And now we're still going very slightly downhill right now. Most of this land, there's a very large amount of land around us on all sides that's relatively flat. And then you can see where the forest starts over there, and that's it goes into the forest for a while, it's flat for a little while, and then it goes straight down to a big stream which runs through the middle of this property, and then it runs down right through the property that we're calling Fruit Haven 5, which is the 9-hectare or 10-hectare property by the river. And that big stream goes through the middle of that lot. And it's the same stream that that follows the northern boundary of Fruit Haven 3, where the waterfall is. Still following the same path in the same direction, so it's curving a little bit either way. A little bit more secondary forest right here, and you can see now there's a hill off to our left. Or a downhill, I should say, until it goes down. Off to the right, it's still mostly flat. For as far as I can see, a good, 60 to 70 to 100 meters in the distance. A couple nice big trees in the pasture here. There's one. Oh, it's a big tree. Not very wide, but it's quite tall, and there's another one through there that you can see. Now we're a bit closer to that, it goes downhill on the left, we're a bit closer to that, maybe 30 meters. And after the right, it's still mostly flat for a while. The front of us, we can see this kind of shack that's here. And it's not worth keeping at all. It's not like the Fruit Haven 3 building is not in great shape, but we're going to restore it pretty easily. This is terribly built, and it's got water damage, and it was mainly just used for chickens. Although I think a worker lived in it at one point. But this isn't worth keeping. It's a lot of termite damage too. For this, it'd be better to tear it down and build something new in this spot. But this spot could potentially be the Freehaven 6 community area. So off to this direction, which is roughly south, it goes down, steep ravine after about 30 meters in the direction the camera's pointing. And there's a stream down there. In this direction, I'm not going to go this way because I don't have a whole lot more time today, but I could walk another 100 meters in this direction, and it's mostly flat and slight downhill. And then it hits the steep, like a really steep hill that goes straight down to Freehaven 5. And there is a switchback trail that goes down there. Most likely, if we get these properties, people for Freehaven 6 are just going to access it through the Freehaven 3 road, because that's already going to be nice. Then we won't have to spend another $10,000 or $20,000 digging up and making that trail nice. That'd be much easier. And off in this direction to the north, it's still pretty flat for a while. And like I said, it eventually does go down to the stream that runs through the middle of this property. So we've walked through a very small part of this property today. It's 23 hectares, but you've seen how there's a lot of nice flat land up at the top here. It's pretty nice.